Jake phoned her.
Okay, you're live, by the way, now. You are live.
Good evening and welcome to the Merritt Show and Behind Closed Doors, an eventful weekend we had down at Nottingham, or up at Nottingham, depends which way you want to look at it. And it was actually a tremendous day. And when you looked at it and you saw the amount of people that were there, I would say, guesstimate, I would have said there was several thousand there. Good 2,000-3,000.
I suppose, I think it was about 2,000.
I think there was quite a few there. I think there was at least 200 or 300 bikers.
Yeah.
So in addition to what was there already, I mean, that was a lot of people there. And it was so good to see. And when the bikers turned up, it was like rolling thunder when it turned up. It was absolutely amazing. And a kind of like a bride.
You're going robot-y. You're going very robot-y. He's talking like a robot.
Is your phone plugged in, Alan? Because
both of you.
Right, is it now?
Wait a minute.
Right, what's it like now? Are you there?
yeah, I'm here.
Is that better? Is that better? I've taken
I can't hear Alan.
Yeah. You sound like a robot.
Did you change anything, Alan? Or have you done something different on your computer or something?
Just check it on. Are you still there?
Yeah, but you've gone all crackly, Alan. I don't know what you've done with your computer. Have you tried to? Are you trying to do something on it at the same time?
I'll turn my phone off in case that's interfering with it.
Okay.
Talk now.
Hey. Is it any better?
No.
Just turn the volume down a little bit, just in case it's the volume. Is that any better?
No. Still crackly.
I'll come back out and come back in.
Yeah, try that. Yeah, try that.
Could you, can you talk for a little bit, Jason, first too?
Oh, if I must.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's okay. Oh, terrible job, innit?
Yeah.
I see Jean was with you at the weekend as well. How is Jean?
She's all right, but I think she's losing it a bit now.
Yeah.
She was with security. I lost her.
Yeah, I heard him say on the mic, we've lost an old lady called Jean. And then they're like, oh no, okay, we found her.
Yeah, she's all right, but you just have to, I have to keep a close eye on her because she just disappears.
I bet she was chasing all them bikers round.
I know. She was following the bikers in the security van.
I don't surprise me.
Yeah.
She's a character, is Jean?
Oh, she definitely is.
Yeah.
And then we was in the hotel.
I bet she's mad after a few sherries.
Oh, yeah. We came down from the room, got in the lift. She pressed the button and all of a sudden the lift started jolting. Oh, my God, we were stuck.
Oh, God.
And I was petrified. I hate being stuck.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of lifts. Yeah.
Kicking off. And she's ringing the alarm bell and it says they'll contact you straight away when she rings. No one did. I started hammering on the doors.
Oh, God.
And she was just standing there laughing at me.
I bet she was.
Yeah, she thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. Mind you, I probably would have laughed at you as well.
Oh,
I'm like that. I've got a funny sense of humour.
But we nearly got killed.
That's a bit dramatic. Come on.
No, we did, but we nearly got hit by a bus. Me, Alan, Brian, and...
There's a joke there, but I'm going to be a gentleman.
You still speak again. Alan, speak. Alan, speak. Talk.
No, he's not working, is he? Alan, try and use your phone instead, because your laptop's clearly not doing it. Use your mobile phone instead. It worked better, I think. There's something wrong with that laptop. It's not.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the internet connection or something, or there's too much going on it, or he's got too many things open or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nearly hit us.
Tell you what, your camera is really good though, sir. It really is. Compared to Alan's laptop, you know. You must have a really good quality camera. I can see right up your nose.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, no, I think it was brilliant up there at the weekend.
Yeah.
Absolutely
It
brilliant.
looked like a good turnout, it did.
Yeah.
I only caught the tail end of the speeches. I think I saw Simon and Nobby, and I saw the tail end of Alan's, but I didn't see anything before that, I don't think. So I missed quite a bit. I've not had a chance to go back and watch them all.
Yeah, I don't think they're all out, you know. I've seen a few. John Lawrence did a good one.
Yeah.
You know, going round.
I've seen him talking to that twat. What's his name? They call him Swampy. Looks like a pirate, smelly guy. Yeah.
Glenn Safford was talking to. Oh my God.
Oh, was he? I bet that went down well.
Oh, yeah. He was. He said he wasn't there to cause trouble, but he went. Apparently, Glenn had something on video to prove that he was lying.
Yeah.
You know, but it was so bad when they kettled us in.
Yeah.
So bad. You know, they led us straight to Antifa.
They always do that. They've done that many times in the past. I remember all the DFLA events in London. At one point, the DFLA said, we're not working with the police anymore because they just lie. Blatantly lie. They say they're going to work with you to make it peaceful and not let you collide. And then they just make sure that happens. You know, they've got the left right in front. You know, or they will try and separate the group so that you've got like a barricade or something. And they do the kettling and all that.
Yeah, they did that.
And then they want you to work with them afterwards. So like, why would you work with them after they stitch you up?
Yeah. I mean, we wasn't causing any problems. They had the barricades up anyway, so it was set up. And then they pulled their batons out. But Antifa were throwing.
You should have got your handbag out. I would.
I was right at the back. I'd have hit them with my crutch. I tell you, come near me. But they did come in between us.
That's another joke there. I'm not going to go and do it. you keep lying about with these jokes. I keep biting my tongue.
Oh, sorry. I'm not with them. I'm still tired from it. But yeah, we see a few Antifa sneak in our group.
Yeah.
But we had security there, and they spotted them as well.
That's good.
You know, so we was keeping an eye out. But I mean, it was such a long walk as well, going backwards and forwards. You know, and
next time, take mobility scooters for you, Eugene. You can run the buggers over. That's what you want to do.
You know what? Yeah, I've got mine out here, but it's too big to go on a blooming train.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said to one of the police walking up, what happened to Antifa, because they was down the station. He said, oh no, we've dispersed them. We've told them they've got to go. And then they lead us straight into them. You know, and we weren't causing no problems. It was them doing it all, started throwing the bottles. And then you know, next thing you see, the police got the batons out. But they weren't directed at Antifa.
They
directed at us.
Yeah. And yet they're the ones throwing all the bottles.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
No. You know, it's all peaceful. And Dean, bless him, he did get the ump, and he had every right to get the ump.
Yeah, well, don't blame him getting the ump. Oh,
you know.
He's probably worked bloody hard setting all that up, you know.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
he has his issue. He's got his own health issues as well, and he's working hard through that to settle this up, you know.
Yeah.
Last thing he needs is someone throwing a spanner in the works, you know, and the police messing about, you know.
Yeah. But I'm glad
it's not easy setting up these demos, is it? It's like a lot of organising. You know.
Ours has got to be sorted, you know. It's just a date.
Yeah.
Because it's Halloween, isn't it? The 31st of October, so we can't do it then.
At least you better wear a mask. A good reason for one.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd probably take them off us for wearing them masks.
But are you going to liaise with the police when you go down there?
Yes. We've
You
got
are?
no choice.
Yeah.
They've been actually, the police up in London have been really good.
Yeah,
You know,
well, I'll ask you that same question the following day. And we'll
Yeah,
see what
yeah.
you said
Well,
day
we'll see
after.
what they say, but no, we have to, because it's from Trafalgar Square to Downing Street.
Yeah.
They're going to close the road off for us.
You know what? If there's enough of you there, you'd close the road yourself. You wouldn't need the police to do
Yeah.
it for you.
Yeah,
So,
but we
don't
need the
let
lorry.
them bully you into. I mean, I've never done a demo, so speak to people who have in London, but don't let the police lead you to believe that you've got to work with them. There may be ways that you can do things without. You know, speak to DFLA people, the Tommy team that do demos down there. Speak to Glenn. Glenn will be the one to tell you. You know.
No, that's who organises it for us, Tommy.
Right. Okay.
You know, he speaks to them. That's how we got the road.
Yeah.
And his big lorry is bringing down so that we can use that.
Oh, that's good.
As well. You know, so hopefully, well, I had to message Glenn today to say that we've got to cancel it for the 31st to do it the 24th.
Yeah.
So he was
The
getting
24th of when?
October.
October, yeah.
Yeah.
So a week before Halloween.
Wait, before you what?
A week before Halloween, then.
Yeah, yeah. Because I thought, you know, Halloween people are going to be taking their kids out and what have you, and
Trick or treating and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do it then. So I'm just waiting for Glenn to get back to me.
Yeah.
You know, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll go ahead this time.
It's also wouldn't be very appropriate when you're talking about satanic ritual abuse and doing that on Halloween. That wouldn't be very fitting, would it? You know.
No.
Because there'll be someone that will call you out on that if you did do it on that day. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You know how people call out on the slightest little thing, don't they? You know. They'll find silly little meanings in things that I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah.
So a week before is pretty good.
Yeah. So we've got rid of some of our trolls.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
They'll soon be replaced with more, don't worry.
Oh,
that
yeah.
happens.
Of course they will. Yeah. I mean, it was.
Don't worry too much about the trolls.
No, that Andragoni is just awful.
It is. And I use the word it because Coco the clown, isn't it?
Yeah. I thought I put a comment on there one day and I put Ishi, you know, and he went mad at me, or it went mad at me. And I said, well, I don't know what you are. But apparently it's supposed to be a whistleblower. But whistleblowing on what? You know? I just don't have a clue. You know?
Yeah, when I first saw a link to that channel, I looked, I thought, what the bloody hell have I been sent to? It's some bloke with like eyebrows up on top of his bloody painted on.
It looks a bit like
lipstick like he's been put on with a fucking toilet plunger.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like
And there's another one. I don't know if you've had problems with Dave Jones, the hoax police.
Oh, Danny Jones, or have you called him Funny Bones? We call him.
Oh my
He's
God.
another twat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
about him the better.
We're getting rid of them now. As soon as they come on, they're being blocked and everything.
Best way, block them, ignore them.
Yeah.
Don't give them their time.
No, so, but yeah, apart from that, everything's going. Liverpool did well, didn't they? At their protest, at their demo.
I know, I've not got. Was Angie and Tinky there? There wasn't they? I presume.
Angie was, Tinky wasn't.
Oh, right.
4,000, I think they had 3,000. Wow. Yeah.
Good. Was there one at Manchester as well?
Yeah, I think there was.
Yeah, so it seems like there's demos everywhere.
Yeah, hang on one sec, Jason.
Sure. Doesn't know I can lip read. She's saying, I'm stuck here talking to that fucking Jason.
Hello?
No, you didn't know I could lip read, did you?
Oh, no, I didn't say that. My cat came in and she's limping.
No, I just lip readed you. Yeah, I heard what you said. You said, I'm stuck here talking to that fucking Jason. I hope Alan O's up.
No, the cat's coming really limping on her back leg. She's got arthritis.
Oh,
I'm asking
right, okay.
to give her a painkiller.
Oh, right, okay.
You know, so...
She won't be on the broomstick for much longer then, will she?
No,
So we couldn't resist it.
that's all right. She's 17 anyway.
That's young for a
Yeah.
cat. Cat's lifted it up at, what's it, 25, 30 or something?
They can do, yeah.
Yeah.
She's the last of my ones.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
so
more of a dog person. I'm done.
I
Don't do
like
cats.
dogs. I'm hopefully getting a dog
Cats
soon.
are evil. They just knock everything over, don't they? Yeah.
They can, yeah. She's got clumsy lately. I think
They're not
it's
clumsy.
their
They're
leg.
fucking destructive.
I know mine have been all right.
People say if the earth was flat, the cats would knock everything off it. Yeah.
No, they do sometimes. I mean, she did break my elephant not long ago.
I've seen cats do it. They just swipe things off shelves and stuff.
Oh yeah, they can be. Yeah, you see them go poof.
That's it. You little shit.
Yeah. And then kids do it as well. So
Yeah. I've got a mate who's got a cat and he just attacks you. It's like a feral. You walk in the house and it just goes for your ankles. And if you're sitting on the stairs, you can't walk past it. As you step over it, it goes for you. It's unbelievable, this cat.
oh no, this cat's soppy. She, you know, we used to have a dog like that, Jack Russell.
Oh, they're
And
the
every
worst.
time
They're ankle
my
nippers, aren't they?
Yeah, every time my grandson come down the stairs, he'd know it was him, and he'd latch onto his trousers, and George would be walking, and he'd be dragging him along behind him. He's such a weird dog, and he'd pick up a dumbbell, and he'd be walking on his front legs. His back legs would be up in the air.
Was it a circus dog?
I don't know, he was so weird.
Sounds like a circus act.
Yeah, you know, and people couldn't believe it. You know, and he tried going up the stairs with the dumbbell.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, but I do need another dog. I miss me dogs.
Yeah.
I really do. You know,
Wonder what Alan's doing.
God knows.
He's been turning his computer off and he's trying to work out how to turn it back on again.
Yeah, probably.
What's he like?
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll come back in, but I think his laptop's having a bad day.
Yeah. I'm trying to find. I found a gum shield in the hotel room.
A gum shield?
Yeah.
That
Well,
was-
Alan.
wear that next time you meet Antifa, that'll scare him. Hang on, Antifa. Put me gum shield in. Where's your boxing gloves?
Yeah. Well, no one could register in their rooms on a Saturday morning, so I said, "Oh,
Right.
put all your stuff in our rooms." You know, and then I was left with a gum shield. I haven't a clue whose it is. Yeah, it wasn't Alan's. I thought it was his.
Oh,
You
God.
know, but,
Someone's up for a bit of boxing.
yeah, it might be one of the security men
Yeah.
that was there. So I'll find out. And then I'll send it to him.
Oh, here comes Alan. Let's see if he's sorting himself out.
See?
Come on, Alan.
Hello.
Right. Let's give him a chance to connect his mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Okay, yep, you're back. That's good.
Yeah, I missed about a few times. I went on my phone wouldn't have it. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. Don't worry. You got back
Thank
eventually.
you for coming on, Sue, and helping me out a little bit there.
Hey, Alan, are you missing a gum? Are you missing a gum shield?
Oh, you told me about that, did you?
We've had a good old chat, me and Sue. Your ears been burning.
Yeah.
Sue's a good girl. She
I've heard all about what you got up to, Alan.
Yeah.
I've heard all your secrets while you've been off.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those
Yeah,
skeletons in the
that-
closet. That closet emptied of skeletons now, Alan. I tell you.
Sue knows me too well, to be truthful.
I'm only winding you up.
But I tell you what, it was nice. But it made me worse when I made my speech, Sue, when they all started shouting my name.
I know.
And then when I started talking about you, and I turned around and you was crying, and I've
Yeah.
never seen you do that before.
I don't cry.
I know.
Even telling my story, I don't cry because I've cried all my tears over the years, and
Yeah.
I find it hard to cry. But hearing it being said and over a crowd like that just
Yeah.
got me.
Good
You
point.
know. and
Are you one of those
crying.
people, Stu, that don't cry with your own story, but you cry with other people's story?
Yeah.
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 I can tell that
Because
about you.
I feel
And I mean that in a good way, Sue, when I say I tell
Yeah,
it, I
I
go,
know
yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
I feel that there's people out there a lot worse that had a lot more done to them than I did, and
me.
have suffered a lot worse than what
We did.
on it. Yeah, and because I'm a strong person as well, I think I can deal with it a lot better. But some people look at it as if, oh, you've got no emotion, you know, and things. But I don't care. When I'm ready to tell my full story, I will tell it, and people accept me as I tell it as it is, because I'm not gonna. I don't think I'll sit there and cry. I might do when I see it after, but I wouldn't do it on there.
You're a tougher character
But
than
so nobody would know. So nobody would judge you if you did. And anyway, anyone did judge you for that, then that's more says more about them than it does you. You know.
Mm,
So
yeah,
don't ever feel like if you know that you have to not cry because it means something. It doesn't mean anything. You know.
no.
You know.
When I did the one with Anna Breeze, I was fine doing it. And when I see her put it together and put the photos in, that really upset me. But I did that on my own, cried on my own. I don't cry around my kids or my grandkids. I do it all on my own when I feel the need to do it. And I think that gives me the strength to go on to the next step, and listen to other people's stories, which are heartbreaking, and we still got a lot more to do and a lot more to listen to.
It's funny though, because when, like you just said a little while ago, there were a lot more people worse off than us. And I always maintained from the beginning, I don't know what happened to me pre-Beechholme. In the many children's homes I went in before, I mean, from virtual birth, I was put into care, being the youngest of four. And Beechholme, at 6, 7, that I went into Beechholme. And that was really bad. I mean, Laburn was a horrible, horrible cottage. But like you say, I don't think I was penetrated. I was touched up in the bathroom inappropriately. I was touched up in a dormitory by Audrey Wilson. And I'm not frightened to name the people that did touch me up and do things to me inappropriately.
No, I'm not.
Alan, is Beechholme still running as a home, or is it
No.
closed down? It's
No,
not.
it closed in 1974.
Right. Okay.
They knocked it all down. They built a big housing estate on it
Yeah.
now, but yeah, things weird going back there. I mean, we went back there and a tree fell down in front of us.
Wow.
I don't know if that's some sort of warning.
That's an omen.
And I don't think I'm going to stand next to you at a bus stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, with everything that went on there, like you had your brothers and sisters there. I had my twin brothers who were 4 years younger than me, and my older brother, and he was in a different house. But I don't know. I sensed that he had been abused, but I could never say anything to him. I couldn't tell him what was happening to me, but I knew something had happened to him. And it came out when it sort of started coming out, he actually started saying things. And I just knew it. And I said to him, I knew you'd been abused, because he's very quiet like that, doesn't say anything. But now he can't go any further. He doesn't want to know.
My sister's like that, Anne, my oldest sister, kind of like when I was younger, and I was the youngest, so she at 5 was more like Mummy Anne. And I used to call her that, Mummy Anne, because she was more of a mother figure to me as the youngest sibling. And she kind of did everything.
Yeah, I had that because the twins, I think they were 3, so I was nearly 7, and I had to do everything for them when I went into Beechholme, because they knew me and I had to bath them and everything.
Mind you, the same happened to you in Beechholme as it did with me, because they separated your family as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they separated Tony from us, from me and the twins.
Because my two sisters, Margie and Anne, were in Thistle and Maple, I'm sure. And Frank, I know where Frank started off with was at Cedar and then went to Kerrier because it turned into the all boys Kerrier, didn't it?
Yeah, that's where Tony was, because he was in with your brother Frank.
Yeah, with Pete McTavish.
Yeah,
Dirty bastard.
yeah, yeah.
He had hands like shovels, and when he hit you, you stayed it. He used to give you a whack. And Granny Grace, or Grace Robinson is a appropriate name. We had a thing, Jason. We had to call them staff members, auntie and uncle. They weren't our real aunties and uncles, but we had to address them as auntie or uncle.
Yeah, some of them we had to call Mr.
Yeah, there's more staff members like the admin in it.
Yeah, we had a few house parents we had to call Mr. and Mrs. Simmons, Mr. and Mrs. Waller, Miss Birch, and
Mr. Gray.
You know, yeah, exactly. You know, but yeah, it was strange how they separate families, and as I still say, you know, there was a lot of us that were families, and to this day now, a lot of them no longer see each other.
No. Well, we don't. We don't really. I mean, yeah, okay. I'm still in touch with Anne, and I can pick the phone up to speak to Frank, but Beechholme done a lot of damage to Frank.
Yeah, I mean, I've been lucky because I don't talk to Banjo, but I mean, he knows if he knocked on my door, I'd help him. But we've always stayed in close contact.
But it didn't help the fact that Anne was like Mummy Anne. And then when I was in Beechholme, and the way she looked after me, being the youngest out of all of them, the baby of the family, I needed that kind of elder sister. And then when they put me in Laburnum and my other siblings in all different houses, it was very, very difficult for me to cope with as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as I say, you know, when we moved out of Cedar, the twins came with me. We was together. It was only when I did the transfer, because Nikki wouldn't let me go to the clubs in Epsom, and I asked for a transfer out, and then I got put into Thistle. Richard came with me, but Banjo stayed with Nikki.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, you know.
I never ever shared any of the cottages in Beechholme. Out of the 24 cottages, I never shared. In actual fact, not only did I not share any other cottage with my family, we never, as a family, shared the same room ever again. And
yeah,
that hurt.
That is sad. That's what I was saying. So many families that I know from there have nothing to do with each other, or gone their own separate ways, you know. And it shouldn't be like that, because to me the family is everything, you know. And my brothers, because we were so close and still are close, you know. And I think that makes it, when you have your own families, you know, you still have that closeness. You've got to bring them in, and you don't let them sort of go wander, you know, go off and live their lives. I mean, my daughter moved down here when she was 16, but only because my brother was here.
Yeah.
You know, and then we followed down. You know, we're all here in Bexhill except for my brother, my other brother.
It's a nice place.
Yeah, I mean, Tony lives in Bognor, but he, you know, he contacts me all the time. He comes down here, and we go to him. So we're, you know, and he's the same with his family. You know, I think it made a lot of us better parents. A lot of us better parents, because we didn't have it. I mean, I did. I was lucky in that respect that I did have my mum till I was 5, and my dad. So, but
I think Laburnum was a cruel cottage from day one. I think my abuse started with the very strong disciplined tone they took. Kind of like it was almost to sort of keep you in order or control you, want for a better word.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I was lucky. I mean, I did get bullied in in with Aunt Nikki, and Aunt Nikki she was a formidable woman, but she was firm but fair.
Do you remember Margie in Beechholme? Or you remember
Yeah.
Frank, but you don't remember.
I
Do you remember
do
Margie?
remember Margie, yeah.
What about Anne?
No, I don't remember Anne. I remember Margie. And obviously I remember Frank.
Yeah, because he was in your brother's house.
Yeah, and I see him years after anyway, didn't I? When
Brian.
we had kids and that. Yeah, when I was married to the first one.
But he turned into a very. He turned out like the splitting image of my father. Frank is my father.
Mm.
Very, very, very. It affected him. That sounds daft when I say that. Frank is my father. Frank turned into my father, kind of thing, with his aggression. And he had to do something because he was so aggressive, and that's why he took on the karate and ended up becoming a black belt 8th Dan. Now he really pushed himself to become powerful, and I think the better he got, the better he wanted to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, when they.
What was the first house that you remember it being bad? I mean, so what house was you in? Who was it? Was it the Greys?
It was the Greys. I mean, I first went into Cedar, and the pair, Charlie and Alan Dassett, were absolutely brilliant. And the only problem that I had in there was I caught one of the boys kissing one of the aunts in the kitchen. And I as I say, I was about 7, and I'd gone in, they're real shape. So I went in and I went near to the window that looked out onto the backyard. And as I turned round, I see him round the corner kissing. And I must have said something like, oh, and all of a sudden the knife hit me in the mouth. And he'd thrown the knife at me and then realised, and he'd come over, I'm sorry. And I don't think that I ever spoke to anyone about what I saw. So unfortunately, Alan and Charlie took up another home in Putney, so they left, and I went into Armand, and it was the older girls there, because I always had trouble with my breathing. I could never breathe out my nose.
Yeah.
And I used to snore, and the two 16-year-old girls used to come put their hands over my mouth and nose when I was asleep, so I couldn't breathe, and which has affected me now, but that was the worst that happened in Armand, and it wasn't until I went to Grays that the abuse started.
Was that Thistle?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think. I'm sure I knew Margie was in. I'm sure Thistle. Because it was the Greys that abused Margie because they did something to her in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they did the same to her. Went into the bathroom. I had a thing about the bathrooms because I had a problem in Laburnum.
Yeah, because that's where Mr. Gray, when I'd run away, hang on, talk a minute because I've got the door. Hold on, talk.
All right. Yeah, so going into the bathrooms was very, very, very. We used to have a toothbrush, and on the coach kind of locked doors, when we'd put try and put toothbrush through the coach door to try and lock it, so you couldn't push the latch up to open the door to stop the staff from coming in, because the staff would come in and bath you and duck you under the water and use this carbolic soap on you, and it was horrible, and it really, really burnt your eyes, burnt your mouth, and done every single thing. There was more water, and remember, in bath times on the floor than it was in the bath. And there was a cubicle, and if I could, I'd try and get in the cubicle, or then after a little while try to learn to use the cubicle, but they wouldn't let you, as the boys, use the cubicle. They used to let the girls use the cubicle, so you had no option but to go in the openness of where the other bath was, because the two baths were in next to each other. So I had no choice about that. So yeah, and then they used to force their way into the bathroom either through the window, or if I'm not too sure, Audrey was quite a strong person. She probably broke the toothbrush with her strength, but used to climb in the window as well, and walk in, come in through the window, and get you, or demand the door straight away, and let them into the bathroom, and then they'd whack you and hit you. And I got a floor scrubbing brush used on me in them bathrooms, and one of the boys in the cottage. I'm sure, I think it was John. You know John, who I'm talking about, and he shit in one of the sinks, and I got the blame for it, and they made me clean it out. And it's nothing worse than if they go and clear somebody. It's bad enough doing your own, let alone doing somebody else's, and that made me clean it up. And of course, I got a whack and called a dirty boy and filthy retard, and the things they used to do to you, and the names they used to call you was wicked. And the slaps they used to give you around the head. Grace was always smacking you. And I remember the shorts, they used to slap you so, she used to terrible for whacking you on the back of the legs.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember Grace. I mean, just to see her, she'd tell anyone, whether you was in her house or not, you'd get it from her. But you saying about the toothbrush, I remember I'd run away one day. Well, I was always running away. I think, we was the most runaways there, and we was. And I'd gone back, and obviously you go and have a bath.
Yeah.
So like you did, put the toothbrush in the latch, because it had that little spit you could put it in.
Yeah.
And the next thing, Gray's come through the bathroom door.
Yeah.
So he got through the window. That's the only way he could have got into that bathroom.
Yeah. Well, they did the same with me. Got through the bathroom window, but it wasn't just Laburnum Larch. Ian McLaren. He was bathing kids at 12 years of age. McTavish. I had to go, well, because Grace and them, as I started to get older and I left the primary school, coming to the end of my time in the primary school, and as I was getting a bit bigger, Grace couldn't control me so much because, how many times can you hit a kid without them starting to retaliate? And by the time I got to Ash further down the line, when Gordon Reed used to give you a punch in the head, you used to turn around and laugh at him because
they
can't hurt you any more than they've already done. Because the amount of beatings and things you used to get, it's hard for people to appreciate and realise these weren't trained child guardians or parental guardians.
No, look at Banner. I mean, we was, all right, we ran away, but when we did go to school, we'd be on the bus coming home, and there was a posh school called Greenacres, and we used to sit at the back of the old buses, and as these snobby girls come up the stairs, we used to lift their hats up and twang them. Right. So by the time they got off the bus before us, as soon as we walked in them gates and walked down towards the offices to go to your houses, Banner would be at that window. Moira Home and Susan Peake in my office now. Right. He'd go in there, the parents had rung through about us. And of course we were caned. Every time we was caned, and we were the most caned girls. And that was for something mischief. But you had to take your knickers down.
When he used to cane you, did he put you across the desk?
You had to lean over the front of the desk, and he'd pull your knickers down.
Bloody hell.
And you'd be caned. Yeah.
Same with me. When I went to Banstead Police Station, when I ran away 3 times, I think, from Beechholme, and Dicker was there in Laburnum when I got back one night, and they said the police were out looking for me or something like that. I nearly gave myself by the time I got to Tooting. But when I went to Banstead Police Station and said to them about the beatings and stuff they were giving to us, I ended up getting taken back from Banstead Police Station and, sort of like frog march before Banner. Remember, when you used to walk down the corridor to his office, his secretary used to have an office on the left-hand side, facing the church, basically, the front of the church. His office was the last one on the right before you got to the church. And then you went in his room and he used to point to the corner and say, "There's that cane. Is it your heading for the cane?"
Oh, you was lucky you only headed for it. We got it.
Yeah,
You know,
well, I think the punishment you got from there were so many of them, like Whiteman in the playground. You used to rifle through your trouser pockets and think, "What you got in there, boy?" I mean, you own precisely nothing. You had nothing, and you didn't even have a sweet in your pocket. So, for him to rifle through your pocket looking for him, he was touching you up. That's
yeah,
what
see, we never had problems with Whiteman, but with went to the police station. We told the policeman outside at our high school about what was going on, and he said he'd deal with it.
Yeah.
And we'd come in from school yet again and was called in his office, and we thought while we in there we hadn't done nothing wrong this time, you know. So we went in there and the police were in there, and he called us liars. And the police left and he caned us again, said we were lying. So, you know, we couldn't win. And I thought that it was only me and Moira, right? And when the police did the investigation, I mean, when she first phoned me up, she said to me, and it really annoyed me, she said to me, "Can I have the name of your abuser, please?" So I said, "Harry Gray." She said, "I knew you was going to say that." It was just her tone in which she said it to me. You know, and then it came out further down that there was 10 people had put in a thing about Banner.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
they said that about 10 people had said something about Jeffrey Banner. Margate's in the school and Whiteman in the school. I was in Mr. Margate's classroom. As you went in the front, the headmaster's office was on the right. You went down the corridor, and the very last classroom on the right-hand side was Mr. Margate's.
He was a funny bloke, wasn't he?
Up at a big guy, and he used to walk up and down with his hands behind his back.
Yeah.
And he used to have a ruler in his hand, and you could see the ruler whacking out. And every time now and then, he'd just come along and walk past you. And as he walked past you, he'd just give you a whack.
Yeah, so I wasn't in his class.
And it wasn't. No, there weren't many in there. I think Victor.
He had his son there, didn't he? Didn't his son used to go? His son used to go there.
Yeah, I think there was, but he was a nasty bastard.
Yeah.
He was to me. I don't know what it was with me. Whether it's because I was small, I never learned nothing in the primary school, and then I had problems in the secondary school. So my education was really, really bad, badly affected. I mean, Mr. Banner's wife used to teach us in the superintendent's house. In the kitchen, we used to have all sit around the kitchen table, or 3 or 4 of us, and then they put us with Nancy David in the orchard. And there was me and Tom in the orchard, and we used to wear boiler suits, like a green polo shirt or whatever it was, and these bloody boiler suits they used to give you. I don't know what that was all about.
No,
That's when I got filmed by Panorama. Was it Man Alive or Panorama? Were doing something, and they gave me a paintbrush and said to me, "Paint the mural on the wall." Do you remember down where the gym was?
Yeah.
Down the side of the wall, it was all painted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. I mean, like with Banner, I mean, once Banner left, we never had no problem. Dickon never ever caned us, even though we was called into his office, and he would sit there and talk to you and say, "Why do you girls, you know, do what you do, train the rats?" I said, "It's only for a laugh," but he never had a go at us. He said, "Can you try and behave yourselves?"
When I left, Dicker gave me some money. I think he gave me, I don't know, it wouldn't have been £1, because we didn't have pound coins. Unless it was a £1 note. I wouldn't think he'd give me a £10
note. A 10 bob note.
He gave me something. Well, in them days, they used to give you pence anyway. They used to give you probably about pence, didn't they, as pocket money?
Yeah.
Because I remember we used to go to Nork and we used to buy, was it licorice wood or Spanish wood?
Yeah.
We used to buy that, and you could, in them days, you could buy a fag.
Oh, loose fags, yeah.
Loose fags, because they used to keep loose fags in sweets jars.
Park Drive.
Yeah, and they were strong though. Number 6. Was it number 6?
Yeah, but they did used to do 5 Park Drive.
That's right, they did, yeah. But a 5 Park Drive were pittance, weren't they, really, in them days?
Yeah,
I think you could get
yeah,
5 Park Drive for probably a shilling, maybe
yeah.
less.
But see,
Sixpence.
like in the Gray's house, she was a bitch. She was. And they used to have 2 poodles, brandy and
That's
soda.
right.
When you walked through the back door, because she was only allowed through the back door, they
Yeah.
used to run at you and try and bite you. You
They
know,
did in all the houses, though, didn't they? They wouldn't let you use the front door. You had to use
no,
the back door.
only in that house I was. But I remember I walked through with my brother Richard once, and they ran in. They went to home, so we kicked one of them, and they went mad and they tried to whip Richard. But I stood up to Gray then, and I did start standing up to him. And I remember when I'd reported the abuse at the office, and it hadn't been, obviously, it had been left a few days before he found out.
Do you know her first name?
Margaret.
Margaret Gray.
Yeah.
If she was an abuser as well.
Well, no, only with her dogs. I mean,
Didn't she used to bath the kids as well?
Not when I was there, no.
Because
I
someone
remember,
said that Mr. and Mrs. Gray were both abusers.
I don't, she never abused me. I can't say that she did.
Because
She
I'm
just
sure she bathed my sister.
Well, maybe she just used to make me feel sick. She used to have them dogs on her lap and they'd be licking all around her face. It used to make me reach.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, she's licking her face all the time.
Yeah.
And
And I mean, the thing that sticks in my mind to this day is 2 little brothers, 2 little black brothers.
Sammy Moses.
No, because they'd left they transferred. When we transferred into Thistle, they transferred into Almond.
Yeah, I remember them.
And
I've got a photograph of them.
yeah, and these 2 little brothers, Kevin and Earl, and they were about, I think Kevin must have been, he couldn't have been no more than 3, and Earl was about 4, and they used to wet the bed.
Yeah.
And you'd hear him shouting at them in the morning, and then you'd see them coming down the stairs with their wet bedding, and they'd be crying, and the tears used to go down. And Kevin, no, it was Earl, always had a snotty nose, and you could see it here, and he'd be hitting them, and little Kevin's eyes, they still haunt me, the sadness in them, and he'd make them go in that bathroom and wash their sheets.
If you look at a lot of them photographs of the kids in Beechholme, there's very few with smiles. In the photographs where there are kids smiling, they're probably told to smile because that's how harsh it was, wasn't it? You had to do as you're told.
I mean, as I say, in like the other houses, I wasn't unhappy apart from the bullying in Almond, but there was never, I didn't get my photos because we all had photo albums, but I've got no photos of my time in Beechholme.
Yeah.
No photos, not one photo.
That's strange.
Yeah. And we should have, as I say, we all had photo albums. So what happened to them, I don't know.
I sometimes, when I look at Harper, I see a little you. Because I'm sure you had fair hair in Beechholme.
Yeah, I did. I had blonde hair, yeah.
I'm sure you had blonde hair in Beechholme. And because you was only small.
Yeah.
And I remember, because you was always there, and I used to say, piss off, Peaky, because you turned around and you, for some reason, I don't know where you came from, but you was always, you wanted to be a tomboy, I think.
Yeah, I was a bit of a tomboy, but I got on with everyone.
I can't get over the fact to this day that you still remember me putting my shirt collars up.
Elvis.
And you used to laugh and take the mickey out of me, didn't you?
Yeah. Can hardly forget that. And you had your little black hair going over the back of the collar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with the Greys, I mean, all the girls in that house were solemn. they were very, very solemn. There was the twin sister, Rebecca. She never had a bit like Sammy. Never had a smile on her face. There was 2 other girls, and there was the 2 little girls that I took up and reported with, that I caught him in the bed with the little girl, and they was all scared of him. But once, when after he got reported by us, and it was a few days, and I'd gone in the back door, and obviously the dogs had come. And I'm going up the stairs, and all of a sudden he's come round because it had a bend in it, didn't it? It went up onto a little landing.
That's right.
He's come out and then grabbed me
There's the
round
window
the
into the back garden.
Yeah. He's grabbed me by the front and tried to throw me down the stairs. But I fought him. And since that day, when I fought back at him, he'd say something to me and I'd tell him, fuck off. You know, keep your hands off me. And I wouldn't let him touch my brother either. You know, and I don't think any of the kids ever stood up to him, but I did, you know, and I think by this time, because if anyone hurt me, Tony would go after them.
Yeah.
If they hurt us, and Tony had left by then, so I didn't have his protection. And as I say, I did have my dad, but I couldn't tell my dad what was going on because my dad could handle himself. And he'd have killed him. And then what would I have been left with? I wouldn't have had my dad because he'd have been put away and my brothers wouldn't have had their
When
dad.
we were in the Burnham, I remember Audrey Wilson when she was touching me up in the dormitory. And she always used to come out and there used to be a light in the corridor. They used to leave that on at night. And that light used to shine into the boys' dormitory. It was horrible. I wanted to switch it off because it was, I don't know, I just couldn't sleep with it. And
Yeah.
I remember she used to stand there in the doorway with like this see-through nightie on, and you could see all of her.
The silhouette, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember that when she was touching me up in the bed and that, and I pissed the bed, and exactly what you were saying, in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, she dragged me down the stairs and made me wash my sheets in the downstairs bath and giving me a whack and calling me a dirty little boy, and I think she made me wash my sheets in carbolic soap as well. And they had a thing about that bloody carbolic soap. It was horrible stuff. But when it was happening, the kids that when we was in the dormitories, the kids would turn their backs and face their face would face the wall, and their backs would be facing you, and not one person would be facing you. They all turned their backs on you, so they didn't get caught or involved or get into trouble, so they didn't get seen. Because if they got seen, they would have got dragged. Because she dragged a few kids out of bed.
I think they used to have it in Kerrier as well. You know, being dragged out in the night if you wet the bed and things. You know, and I know my brother did. You know, but
we don't know what she did with the kids, but we don't know if she took them in her room, her own room. She used to take the kids out of the dormitories.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I remember Grace. You know, because it didn't matter.
Not Grace, Audrey.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying with Grace.
Yeah.
You know, I do remember her because whether you were in her house or not, if you was out in the street and she see you doing something, God, you got it off her.
Yeah, didn't you?
You know.
I had to live with that. And you know what? And it's strange how we look at it, but when you look at the fictional Hilda Ogden from Coronation Street, and you see her in her rollers, right, and you see her in that pinny shing she used to wear.
Yeah, that's right.
An image apart from the glasses. I don't think Hilda Ogden wore glasses in Coronation Street. She had these glasses, and she used to like look at you like that, kind of give you a stare. The stare was enough to frighten you. I don't know about slappy hands.
Yeah, it was funny though. Grace Robinson was in court and Gray got put away.
Really?
Yeah. And she's the one that said, as he was going out, being taken out, he was shouting, what about Simmons? What about the rest of them? So I wonder if there was some sort of paedophile ring going on, because he was shouting out about Simmons.
He knew.
Les Simmons was in Hazel.
Yeah.
With his wife and that horrible son, Russell.
Russell was a bad one, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He used to have a
And
kid hang around with him as well, that Russell.
I can't
Was he a
remember.
Beechholme kid that he was? Because he weren't a Beechholme kid, was he?
No, he was their son. But Hazel was supposed to be like a strict house. That was another strict house. You know, Drake was Aunt Eva was good. She was good. There was no problems in there with her.
The
You know,
Longs were
so
bad.
sorry.
The Longs were bad.
Yeah,
Ted
he's
Long.
the one that actually took me to the hospital.
Yeah,
Ted
but they
Long.
were abusers, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were. She was abusing the boys and he was
That's right.
abusing girls. Yeah, she's been
As Frank
charged.
said, she came into the bathroom. Fucking again, we come back to the bathroom, and she used to come into the bathroom, and they'd be standing there naked, and she wanted to wash them and touch them.
Yeah, no, she's been charged with abuse. She's been charged with it. The only one we don't know is whether David Gould had been. I know they arrested him, but whether he's been charged. And yet he wasn't a parent; he was a child, but he was a lot older living there.
Well, Dilly did, didn't he? Because Dilly was there, and he had a bloody car when he was about 18.
Yeah, see,
Dilly
Dilly was. I think Pete McTavish's sort of pet.
I
do.
How comes that they're boys?
I don't know. See, Pete McTavish, I mean, he was good to me. He held birthday parties for me up in Kerrier.
Yeah, he went to the boys.
Yeah.
Maybe it was different with the girls, but with the boys, he was a bastard.
Yeah. But I
he
wasn't
frighten me. The size of him,
Mm.
it kind of like reminds me of like giant haystacks.
Yeah.
But
yeah, very
with
much.
the long hair.
Yeah, and he did used to wear a kilt, didn't he, as well?
He did, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he was big, but I mean, for him to take me up to his house to have parties for my
I think he's a
birthday.
clean man.
I don't know. Didn't get that close to smell him.
It's like Whiteman. He was another one. His hygiene was awful.
Oh, yeah, because he smoked it, and his hair used to have sort of nicotine in it.
Yeah.
It looked like brown. Yeah.
Yellow teeth. He had teeth the colour of a rat.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there was quite a few of them. I mean, you know, Miss Wolf.
Yeah.
Remember her?
Yeah.
I mean, she was strict, but I've never heard anything come out from that house about abuse. I have Maple. I think Laurel was, but that was only when Gordon Reed was there. Miss Pelly. Do you remember Miss Pelly in Lyme? She was another nasty one.
Yeah, she was Lyme. That was Margaret's house. Margaret Burgess was in Lyme, wasn't she?
I don't know. I can't remember, but I don't think so. I think she was with Miss Birch or Auntie Mira.
Was it Jasmine or Lyme?
I don't know, but the Occupatas were in Lyme, and I think they were Irish boys.
I'm trying to think of
Kavanaghs were in there.
Where Laburnum was, you had Almond, which had a blue door. We had a yellow door. To the right hand side of Almond, what house was that?
To the left was Acacia. Like opposite our kitchen window was Acacia.
Yeah. And that was a funny house.
I don't know. I mean, I think that was Auntie Mari's house. She was strict, but I think...
didn't.
Eh?
She either took to you or she didn't.
Yeah, she was all right. I mean, I think she was strict, but I don't think...
used to get told to get out of the yards. When we used to go into the backyards,
if
I was in somebody else's yard, they used to say, get back to your own house, Merritt, or something like that.
And we didn't have that with Armand.
And balling them in. I thought, what have I done? Because we used to go scrumping in the gardens.
Yeah.
And we used to get the apple trees and that. We used to get, if you remember where Fir Tree Road was, at the back of Acacia and Almonds, where the fence was, we used to throw the fruit.
Yeah.
We used to
I
throw
mean,
the fruit at the coaches, and especially on race day, Epsom, when the coaches
yeah,
come by to go to the Epsom races, we used to throw the fruit. And one day we was throwing stuff. I'm not too sure if we was down the bottom field where the swings were near sick bay,
yeah,
and we were throwing stuff, and we threw something in a car, and we didn't realise it was the old Bill. It wasn't a police car. It was I don't know, it might have been,
plain clothes.
yeah, or
Yeah,
whatever. I don't think
yeah.
it used as much in them days, but and they came in a bit. Oh, you should have seen us. We scarpered, and I tell you, we're like Beechholme were to all us kids. We knew every
Yeah.
single hidey hole.
Yeah.
We'd lie on top of the air raid shelter.
Yeah. Yeah. We used to go in the air raid shelters.
Very dark. There no windows at all. Pitch
No,
black.
you had
Scary.
to go crawling it because it had a little sort of porch thing.
Had a back thing, like a little back bit. I don't know what that back bit
Yeah.
was about, because that was like we used to jump on top of that to
And
get up
climb
onto the
up.
roof.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And we had the houses where the toilets were outside and the coal sheds. And then you had that little outhouse thing.
Yeah, well, where the girders were across the roofs, we used to put planks and everything across.
Yeah, that's what
and
we
make
did.
Camps.
Yeah.
And we put a trap door in ours, and one of the kids fell through it.
Oh no.
In a lump on his head, like that. He looked like a unicorn.
I remember when
he says to me, "I fell through your trap." I said, "Well, you weren't invited up it."
I remember when they, the big white building used to be a nursery.
Yeah.
And then they turned it into a dinner hall because we started having dinners there.
That's right.
And then of an evening.
That one as well had all the markings in the back playground for the netballs.
Yeah.
And footballs and everything else. And at one stage we was playing 5-a-side on that.
Yeah. Well, they used to.
I used to like that.
Yeah, films in there.
Yeah.
And everyone could go and watch film. And I remember one night, me and Kevin Smith, we'd got up on the swimming pool roof.
Oh, we always used to do that.
And
we used to spy on the girls getting changed.
Yeah, well, we didn't do that for that, but we was up there and we thought we were late for the film. So we've got down and gone in there just casually. And Banner knew it was us because he waited till we sat down and he said, before we go any further, would the two culprits who were up on the swimming pool roof stand up? Yeah, so we was just looking round, and in the end we had to stand up for it.
What I did, I sound like a fucking pervert when I say this, so I'm going to be careful what I say. Other people might start calling me fucking names. We used to get a bit of cardboard, right, from the bins and that, and we used to go up on the glass roofs where the apex roof, like, and the glass roofs for the changing rooms, the boys and the girls, and we'd poke an hole in so they couldn't see your face, and we'd be peeping through it to look at the girls down in the changing room.
Okay, Alan, how old was you back then when you did this?
What would I have been?
15,
10?
16.
You was a normal teenage boy. Trust me.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what it was, you just but I mean,
do you remember the brown uniform that we used to wear in the primary school? Do you remember it?
Yeah, and it had the brown and gold tie, striped tie.
And it was such a horrible, it looked like shitty.
We used to have to wear brown knickers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't wear brown knickers, but
I don't know. You nearly dropped yourself in it then.
Do you remember the swimming pool used to be very wet, didn't it? The round bit where you used to go round, the square bit round, all around.
Alan, that's the whole idea. Most swimming pools are all wet. That's the whole idea. It wouldn't be much use dry, would it? Imagine diving into a dry swimming pool.
And it used to get right slippery, right? And I didn't go in swimming. Right, and I remember one day, it was in school, because I'm sure in the primary school we used to have a swimming lesson.
Well,
the house at certain times as well, and I was running around the outside of it, and I slipped and I went arse over tit, and I fell straight in the deep end, and I couldn't swim, and I was fucking struggling to try and get to the steps, and I was really struggling, and somebody came through. And I said, all I saw was this brown jumper coming out of the water, like where I was struggling, and I was splashing to try and get out. And of course, all my clothes were soaking wet. So we used to have rugby shirts or something in this primary school.
I don't remember them.
We used to have some football clothes and rugby. It was it was like an old Harlequins type of top, like purple and whatever. And they gave me that to put in to change to go back to the house and a pair of shorts because I've got all my school uniform wet. But we only used to. Do you remember? You used to only get changed once a week.
Yeah, we used to have change
Saturday.
Saturday clothes. They were called the Saturday clothes.
Once a week, got a change of clothes.
Yeah. And it didn't matter. Someone else could have had them clothes on the week before, and we could have been wearing shorts with a shirt.
Yeah.
You know, they just think, and anything that we had. Hello.
Delroy.
You've got Delroy joined you, but you've only got 3 minutes left, Alan, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I know, I ain't got very long, but good evening, Delroy.
You alright, Alan? You okay? Hi, are you alright?
Yeah.
Right, it's good to see you, Sue. Just found it funny. I just had to jump in quickly. It's hilarious, Alan. I had to peek through the holes and look. Come on, we all did it, Alan. We've all done stuff like that with the girls when you got to about 13, 14. It's quite it's natural curiosity, Alan. There's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah, Jason's exactly the same as how I was. We all did it. But Sue, what happened to you in Beechholme? I know, you know, like I sometimes talk about your story, but yours was horrific. For reporting your abuser to be, was you 13 or 14 when they put you in a mental institution?
14.
And they put you in there for 3 years.
Yeah. But what could you do? I mean,
give us a little bit. We've only got a few minutes. Just tell us.
I was there a year, and they found out that he was actually abusing the kids, and they come and took a statement off me. I didn't hear anything more. I didn't get called to court or nothing. And then I think it was one of my brothers told me they'd got put away for 3 years, but I never knew that who it was about, what child or what children.
But that's good, Sue, because that is good for your case. Because like with Delroy and the guys, if we can find precedents for a case that we can go for, and the fact that they put you in a mental institution and then make charges against him, it's got to be him.
But see, what he actually got done for, it was nothing to do with the kids in Beechholme. It's to do with the Cubs or the Scouts, whatever it was.
Yeah, but didn't he? It wasn't Clifford Hemp something to do with that.
Heap.
Heap.
Yeah, but you know, as I say, it was nothing to do with the children in Beechholme or us. It was to do with the Boy Scouts, and that's why Wandsworth will not take our case. They denied it.
Yeah.
You know, but then Wandsworth, whoever was in charge of it all, he was a paedophile.
But Delroy will always say to you, and he's always said to me, and he said, at the end of the day, Wandsworth, right, not only that our borough councils that we were housed in the areas of London, right, but Wandsworth that were responsible for Beechholme, they had a duty of care for us.
Yeah, that's right.
Whatever they tried to deny.
Yeah. And they call themselves the Sunshine Council.
Yeah, the council got liability, and then the people who was looking at in care of you, so the social service or whichever agency was in care of you custody, because obviously there we are guardians at the time.
Yeah.
Duty of care as your guardians at the time.
Yeah, well, we just need to get them now, you know. My case ain't as bad as some of them. You know, it hurts me.
I think what it is, regardless to whatever happened, it was one shape or another a form of abuse.
Oh yeah. I mean,
now, when they abused children, they were our parental guardians, and they weren't fit for.
Yeah, which means you've got to look at those who hire. You've got multiple areas because you've got those they're responsible for looking after you, but what screening were they given to look after you and who hired them? So you see, you can even look beyond that as well, because of who hired them also is responsible because they should have made sure that they was fit to look after you in the first place. They was there in your best interest, which is not been the case.
There was an uncle in there, and he was an abuser, and he was actually in Burma. and a prisoner of war. He should never have been taken on.
Yeah,
You
see what I
know,
mean? It's not suitable. This is what I'm saying to you.
no.
They were never, most of them never suitable in the first place.
Yeah. You know, as I say, all the houses weren't bad, but majority of them were, and they do need bringing up for it. You know.
Yeah. I think if anything, it's to make sure that I think I was saying this to Alan the other day, but my big thing is the fact that it's constantly try to shut you up. That's what's got to be. The truth needs to be told, to be fair, because most of the time they're just trying to they'll take a statement off you, and then the statement gets buried, nothing happens. Nothing ever comes of it. And this is what the problem is. They get the information, they know what's gone on, they know it's been abused, but then they just bury the information. That's what we've got. That's what we've got to stop. We've got to change the cycle of that. That's the reason why I came on. Alan, I spoke to our mutual friend Kay. Next month we're going to sort out definitely get some sort for next month. He's got your things. He's going to interview. He's going to come and do the interview stuff. He's going to do it next month. About mid next month, and obviously he talks about Finger being your scriber as well. So that's fine. So that's going to be good. So that's definitely positive, because I'm sick of them burying the information. We need to get the information out there rather than them spend all the time trying to shut you down. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
brilliant.
I'm still waiting for the police statement. So, you know,
so your case is so. I mean, like Delroy said to me, and when we spoke before, Del said that if the likes of yourself and the 2 or 3 others can get together, maybe Gene, I don't know how we approach.
Gene's not really interested in, you know, going for anything
with Martin, because he had punishment, didn't he?
Ian, Brian, Janice.
There's other kids there, but then we've got a better chance with more of us. If, like Del was saying, he could make a case file type of.
Yeah, Ian Bryan's actually sent me a statement about what happened to him. You know, and he's willing to go for it, and Janice Williams will as well.
It's all good news, and Delroy said this adds to it.
Yeah, whether my brother will, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think if you listen to Delroy when Delroy speaks, so I mean,
yeah,
know Delroy because he's an absolutely fantastic guy.
Yeah, no, I have heard him. You know, but yeah, I mean, and we need it to get it out there to stop it from happening to the other kids.
Yeah,
you know, to be honest, that's my main priority.
Yeah, he's impatient with it now.
Yeah, it's got to a point where, as well. The other thing is there's you and Sue in this age group, but like you said, you've got people case where it's gone on over multiple generations. So, like you said, it's over more than you probably want to speak out on it.
Yeah, that's the good point, because even on testimony, we've got a video recording where Jean turned around, was with you that time, and she said they used the same method of cruelty with the carbolic soap on her as they did me, and that was quite a relief when she said that, because it wasn't just a one-sided story.
Yeah, and that was in the 50s.
But one was in the 60s. So they were still doing it. That's what I'm trying to get.
Yeah, mine was the 70s. So
you see, so that's what I mean. You've got proof of 50s, 60s, 70s. So that shows you the systematic abuse, which is another good thing as well.
Yeah. But yeah, we've got Janice. Ian's prepared to do it, and so I know Janice will. I mean, Jean will. She just gets a bit confused.
Yeah.
You know, she's got all her papers and everything. But as I say, if nothing ever happens with us, at least if we can stop it happening to future kids, then to me it's all been worth it.
And this is what
I agree.
Del said as well.
Yeah. You know, we've lived with ours. We've had to deal with it. You know, and I wouldn't like any child to go through what I've had to deal with, the same as you. You know, I've seen it through my own grandkids, and I can't bear it.
I don't know, Del, did you see any videos from Nottingham?
No, I didn't, but I heard it went a bit. The police were being a bit stupid. I did hear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
but
let us
I
straight
got up and spoke, and I lost it again. And the crowd, there was loads and loads there, weren't there, Sue? There was thousands, and they were shouting my name, Alan, Alan, and that made me worse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
made me
because it
worse
can't
and
be
all.
buried. Yeah, it can't be. We've got to stop the issue with all these police reports, government reports is, and Alan showed me some stuff the other day. It's all they minimize what's happening. What we need to do is document from a full perspective what's happening on a day-to-day basis, because like you said, so it's about stopping it for future generations. The only way you can do that is to make sure there's safeguarding put in places, and the only way you can do that is if you do what you're doing now and exposing what they were doing, and that's the only way you can do it, is tell the truth on them, shut them out, shut them all down, because then people realize that they got responsible for what they were doing, their own actions.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, my abuser, you know, like when I went to the solicitor, he kept putting in my statement that I said the bloke raped me. I never ever mentioned that word. I never mentioned it, and I refused to sign the statements, because as much as I hate my abuser, I will not accuse someone of doing something they didn't do. You know, so I couldn't carry on with the solicitor.
Yeah.
You know, and
Hey guys, I've got a message from Jason that we've gone past our time.
Okie dokes.
I'm really sorry to cut you short, especially with Daryl only just getting in, but I've got to set up for Lee, who's on at 7:30.
Yeah.
So I need a few minutes to get everything lined up for him.
Yeah, so do you want us to finish it now?
We do need to, yeah, I'm afraid.
All right then.
Thanks ever so much for coming on.
But you're welcome to come back and chat to Lee on Lee's show, because I'm sure Lee will be happy to have you all come on and have a chat with him. So
Lee's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
A really good guy, and he was in Newcastle on Saturday, and they had
and we've not got the Blair brothers on at 9 o'clock. I think.
Oh, are they?
They're meant to be, but they're not. They're not on at 9.
Oh.
Apparently, Joe's still feeling the effects of Saturday. So bless him. So Lee's on at 7:30. He doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to invite him to run over if he wants to into Joe and Bobby's slot. If he'd like to, if he's able to. So with a few guests on board, it'd be better to do a double slot for Lee. So if any of you are available to jump in.
And if people want to come on and join, and I'll speak with you soon, Del.
All right, no problem. Thanks, Sue. Thanks, Alan.
Soon. Bye.
Cheers, Sue. Cheers, Del. And cheers, Alan.
I'll phone you.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Cheers, Jace.